There are no jobs like this where you can have such a grand goal and also get sent to places like Bangladesh. It just doesn't happen.
The Bangladesh trip was kind of the start of that for everyone on the team to get experiences that allow them to understand at a very deep level why we're doing this.
Bangladesh has shown me what people must face when they live in a world where there aren't standards upheld that protect their safety.
For me, this trip identified 3 barriers to people implementing security. That's the barrier of education, cultural behavior, the barrier of having access to technology and the tools to identify problems, and the barrier of doing something to fix those problems after they've been identified.
Obviously, there's such a huge problem to solve here, and you look at it and you look around on the streets and you don't really know where to even begin. So you get this sense of like, is what I'm doing personally really helping these people out at all? But then you start to think about it in a bigger picture. So we're making workplace safety more accessible for people. And that's the largest component of really raising people up to consider safety a huge piece of what they do every day.
People shouldn't need to risk death or permanent injury just to have an opportunity for them and their family.
What we do is really important, helping people stay safe and giving them the information and the tools to stay safe. That works really well in a first world country where there's the luxury of safety and choice in jobs. In a developing nation where your primary concern is, feeding your family and having a shelter over your head, we need to be sensitive to those cultural differences.
It's clear to me that we don't have a direct impact on this country yet with the app. There is a gap between what we are building and what the people are using. The people here follow the flow, and their work is focused on what they have to achieve, no matter really the condition. So safety is not coming first. In our developed country, we can think that safety processes are a bit too much, that it takes time and people are a bit annoyed about that. But what we have seen here, it really demonstrates that it's really important, and it really have an impact of the security and the safety. I think by maintaining standards in our country, we will help the developing country because they are learning from us, and we have seen that they copy what we are doing.
Bangladesh and other developing countries are just a few years behind the developed world. So I think that if we are able to be a model and raise the tide of standards in our own developed nations, that's going to have a ripple effect for the years to come in countries such as this one.
We give people tools to ensure that they manage their safety and quality well, to know what's working well, what's not working well, and what they should do about it. If we do this well enough, we'll impact people's lives globally, both at the micro and the macro level. And more people will live in a world of standards where they will have the luxury of taking their safety for granted.
The concept of a cheap labour force disregards all of the hidden costs to the families, the communities, and the environment. And I think we have the opportunity to help expose those hidden costs and have a big impact at a large scale.
After seeing and hearing the stories about all the victims of the Rana Plaza tragedy, I really understood the true cost of not having your environment safe, not having your workplace safe. And people who work and build things for us are putting their lives on the line, and for us to actually provide them with solutions and tools and products and help empower them with solutions, I think that's a meaningful thing for me. So I think that's why it matters, because we're changing the way people look at things that they take for granted. And this eventually has a ripple effect on the community. So I really think we're making a huge difference, and that's why it matters.